I am so excited. I am closer to death than I've ever been. You know that inside my head I am swearing in every language I possibly can think of.
Today we're going to visit one of the most demanding fortresses I have ever visited, above the snow line in the Italian Alps. It was one of the largest, most elaborate forts Mussolini constructed facing Hitler's Germany, and he did it partly with German steel as well. Which brings us to where we are today, the Kreuzbergpass. It was and is a main border road and have been for centuries. Fortifications constructed on both sides of the valley and many more in the hinterland. Today we will visit Opera 2 first, and then the amazing Opera 10. Opera 2 is on the northern side of the valley, which is where we will start with a uphill walk, as it always is in the Alps.
Alright, Mussolini built tunnel systems, firing ports, bunkers, thousands of them, facing the Germans. And we're going to have a look at one of them. It is not a tunnel system, it's a bunker, it's a blockhouse. It is very large and fairly well hidden. Crossing fingers that is not also closed. There has to be a catch, because it can't be right here and be this close and then still be open. So, let's see what Mussolini built here on this side of the Alps in the Dolomites. Now, it's really interesting that there's a very large firing port pointing backwards towards the mountain when the valley is actually in this direction. But, large firing port, camouflage doors, lots of camouflage on the wall here. Firing port number 2. This actually looks like a pillbox, which again concerns me, because what if that means that there is no door? This is all round defense. Here's another. Did I also mention that it's a large Muppet? This is bigger than any blockhouse. But that means if you can't get in here, there has to be a tunnel. Oh, there's another firing port. Has to be a tunnel entrance somewhere. Oh, this is wet and prickly. All right. Another one. Wow. This is just a 360 defense. This is smaller machine gunner observation. This is the valley. And across the valley here on the other side is Opera 8 and 10 that are amazing. That one day I feel like a full day hike. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. I knew I brought you for a reason. This is huge. All right, let's light it up.
On January 6, 1931, the Italian General Staff and Royal Army established a plan to construct a defensive frontier against any Western aggression. And from already 1924, Italy had begun to improve its road network, including dedicated military roads. With dedicated military roads constructed in the Alps beginning in the 1930s. The logistics having been prepared at the end of 1939, initially for the border defense, 8 commanders, 22 sections, an autonomous subsector, 7 auxiliary regiments, 20,000 men, 1,000 fortifications, with 6,000 machine guns and about 1,000 mortars, and 100 cannons of the 47-32 model 1935, and about 2,000 pieces of the 75-27 model 1901. And by the time of the war, on 10 June 1940, this had grown to 50,000 men, strengthened by 28 Alpine battalions, Valley, and 22 battalions of black shirts. The Alpine Wall was designed to use weapons that at the time were common use in the infantry and artillery already. These, in some locations, additional firepower such as flamethrowers and mortars were also planned. And in some old World War I auxiliary pieces remained in forts from the First World War. And in a very special few valleys, the use of toxic gases, such as Esprit, had been planned. There was, however, a constant shortage of materials, and ironically, after the pact with Germany, Hitler would constantly send Italy materials and steel, which was then melted down and incorporated into steel domes, panzer plates, and the iron in the fortifications facing Germany. And noting that Germany's intelligence was always aware of what and where the Italians were constructing, I could see why this was an annoyance to Hitler, who nevertheless never withdrew his support for Mussolini. However, given the reverses in the war and Hitler's complaints, by 1942 October the construction finally ceased, with 1,475 defensive works having been completed, about 700 defensive barracks and active hospitalizations constructed, and also some 450 works under various degrees of construction, and about 60 barracks and shelters as well. Additionally, 1,400 works, barracks, hospitalizations, had been designed. About two-thirds of this was relating to the German frontier. A total of 4.5 billion lira had been spent, which is about $4.4 billion today. The general concept was access denial. Tank graves, barriers, flanking fire, machine guns, mines, and howitzers.
All right. Let's take a look at what Mussolini did. First of all, this entrance is different than what I have seen before. I like it. And with a groove, so you can actually block it up. That means if this is designed to be blocked off, that means there's a way to get to somewhere else from inside. I don't know. You know what? I'm just gonna pick a direction. I'm working on the plaster here. I think this is the observation post here. So this is just that. Are we lucky enough anybody signed it? I was thinking about somewhere in the 40s or 1972. Okay. Because we all know graffiti never lies. 6877. That looks like a 32, but I'm not sure. I wonder where the rubble. Oh, I know where the rubble came from. They bricked it up and somebody unbricked it. That's very nice of them. Right. Electricity, pipes, water, don't care. Okay. This is a large room. If memory serves, this was munition store. Yeah, the floor is flooded and I don't care. It is what it is. It does? But it seems to be less wet. I know I said that very optimistic. I wasn't very optimistic when I said that. I think so. Remember that other fort we saw with that guy where they wouldn't let us film? These alcoves were for the munition, wasn't it?
But like, it's long, how did they throw it? Because it's like...
Oh, the hole?
It's very long.
No, that couldn't have been. That must have been for something else. Because there's not really a fighting compartment. I would almost think a ventilation. Maybe.
I mean, it might be a part that this is dry.
Yeah, well, you just hold on to that thought as long as you can. What have we here? Another door? Here's another door. Oh, so we have multiple ways in and out.
Oh, perfect. Isn't it the one that we...
No, this is a different one.
Okay.
And here's another.
There's another thing. Is it still water?
Well, it is water, but
I think it's still water.
yeah, I don't smell any fuel, so, and there's no generator, motor, or anything around here.
The ground, there is still like the color.
Oh, the door sill. You have the rough floors too. So here's another observation. So what I'm thinking is, there's observation up here, and then there's firing down below, and then.
Big spider.
Wonder if he was a periscope. Where is he, buddy?
Take a picture.
Oh, she's a good girl.
No, she's not.
This is a larger pillbox than I've seen. If you want to call this a pillbox, let's call it a blockhouse. I think we should definitely go a blockhouse. And unfortunately, I can't really tell you what a lot of this is because I simply don't know. I haven't found much about Mussolini's bunkers anywhere. So this is the other wet side. I'm just going to accept that wet's going to be part of this day. And this is the whole way. I'm coming your way. Is this that? This is not that compartment. Oh, this is where we came in. Clearly my morning coffee has not kicked in yet. Okay, dokie. I'm imagining this would have been a steel dome. Whether it was put in place or not, this is a dome well for I'm only going to artillery dome. Now it makes sense. If this was an artillery dome, which I've never seen on the Mussolini Alpine Wall, then that makes sense why these ammunition stores for the shells, or even this. That makes sense. Crap on a stick this large. Okay, so if there was one or more artillery domes, then we're looking at 10, 15 centimeter howitzers. That makes more sense. That's munition for that machine gun.
There's on both sides.
Oh, goody goody. This is one of the large firing embrasures.
And there is shelves.
Every combat compartment here from World War II into the Cold War was equipped with oxygen masks for individual soldiers. Thus, ventilation was a key for the compartments. They were not under overpressure. Additionally, the chambers also had to ventilate and vent the gases from the weapon systems. Telephones were installed in each room, and they were armed with a machine gun or anti-tank gun. They were well camouflaged from the outside, and had a heavy panzer plate of over 15 centimeters installed.
I'm also surprised there's no writing on the walls anywhere. Usually the Italians, I actually see that it used to be yellow, no white. Well, crooked boob drawing I think is mandatory. Why is there a hole here? Why is there a hole there? Wow. We are way deep underground here. Or, well, we're not. We're deep under cement. That could have been a periscope, I suppose. And this is the hallway that I came from. These are all built the same, decorated the same. well, set up the same way. And this is the other way in, the one that was flooded, which is why I'm standing in the water now. So these are all these little rooms. But just this one long room gives you an idea how large this thing is. I didn't bring the drone because it figures no way I can film any of this being covered with grass and you can see it. But I'm going to try. This is an interesting firing embrasure. This is different. These cutouts. This is, if memory serves, no, this is one of the larger ones for the ventilation. Interesting, very interesting. Okay. Let's see where the stairs go. Well, stairs, you say? Stairs. Fine positions. Well, I kind of want a staircase up or down. All right. And here's a steel embrasure. Firing position, ammunition store, attachments. That's too bad. This is so corroded you can't make out any production name or anything. But this is really, really thick. This is a good, only a 25 centimeters thick steel plate. I would imagine cement would give way before that did. And for ventilation, for the gas mask, for the air masks. Another steel dome. Probably here is another periscope. Could be, or ventilation. Alright, so you would have the mounting for the weapon. Even the cable hoists for the camouflage doors are not here. So I'm wondering if this was just not completed. And another one. With another little machine gun embrasure. You didn't find any stairs down? I'm confused. And here's exactly set up the same as on the other side. So lots of machine guns in one dome. It's strange that there's no way to the tunnel system below. Well, okay, maybe there isn't a tunnel system below here, but on the other side. Does seem very crude. Does seem a little not finished. Close defense of the entrance. Lots of camouflage. Very interesting. I just don't understand. There would have to be more here. There's a path where people hike and they have no idea that this is here. I'll try to find some more information about this thing, but just look at how big it is. It almost seems that there should be more to it. I bet most people looking at this have no idea what they're looking at. During World War I, in 1915, when Italy declared war on Austro-Hungary, this is the front line, the Kreuzbergpass. There was not a whole lot of fighting during World War I. This was the border dating back to the 1700s. So of course, when World War II rolled around, Mussolini started building his bunkers here.
Now the real journey begins, a journey uphill, steeply, through rough terrain, brush and stone, to above the tree line, and honestly, after my injuries recently, I was a little bit worried, but I figured Magda would easily carry me off the mountain, so we set off together.
If you see this video, it is more luck, because I'm stubborn, than common sense. So we're in the Dolomites. Blockhouse bunker over there, not that bad of a walk. Bunker number 8, upper 8 is there. We're only halfway. Upper 10 is above the tree line, and it's a long walk. This is where I figure out if I healed up from my sprained ankle and my Achilles. Otherwise, Magda's going to be carrying me up and down. That's some of the glass fiber camouflage for the hinges over the gun ports. We're going above the tree line. This is upper 8, and for some reason they closed it. Don't really know why. It was open until a couple of years ago. It's very large inside from having seen the videos of it, but that's what they did. That still works. So I don't know why they closed it, but it's near a tourist area, so I guess I can guess. Now I gotta find a way up there. So it's gorgeous, but damn, it's high up. Jesus. We haven't even crossed the tree line yet. There's no amount of explaining or filming that could ever justify to you watching this what going through this crap was. So I'm not even going to tell you. This is the old military road, now called 124. That is compass bearing, taking us away from upper 10. Years ago, well, last year, when I tore my Achilles, a couple of weeks after, a certain man in Sweden sent me pictures of this place and said, "You have to see this. Pierre, this is all your fault." And here it is, upper 10. Officially the highest up location for lost battlefields. I almost cry. There was a Czech historian once suggested that the Italian fortress builders were a little lazy. They didn't want to dig into things. This is not lazy. So the road has washed out over the years here, but that's really, truly not going to stop us. I am so excited. I am closer to death than I've ever been. We're here, it's like, yeah, it wasn't that bad. And it wasn't that bad compared to what I had expected and feared. But I wasn't sure. It's only been like 4 months since I sprained my ankle, 8 months since I tore my Achilles. My knee bugging me since last year. So this is a little bit of a personal journey, just to show that I can make it without falling apart. And we started way down there. Jesus, this is so amazing. I freaking love this place. I haven't been here, but I love it.
Opera 10 is one of the largest and most elaborate Italian Alpine Wall works. a cave-in-cut multi-entrance, heavily armed underground strongpoint, designated as the Commando Anchor Works of the Monte Croce Camilico barrier, built from 1939 to 1941 to block the mountain passes. And when we go through this place, I want you to remember how fast this was constructed and the fact that there was only one access road to it. This is reflecting a hybrid of Sierra de Rivieres, Maginot, Italian engineering adapted to Alpine geology, and it is bloody amazing.
The outside world and the inside world, starting with a bathroom. Of course. Now we get to see how extensive this is. Let's see. There'll have to be. I love that even for this advanced military construction, there are still bathrooms at the beginning. And then I wonder what the drainage was here. Except vertical. Oh, firing position. And this fact this is hanging out over the rock. It's just amazing. 1961. So if we can find any here that was signed 1941 or 42, that would be very cool. All right, well, we could go to the bathroom if we needed to, I suppose. Huh? Dead body. All right, I want to film this before we call it in.
What is it? It's my dog. Is it the...
It looks like
Oh, I know.
deer.
Yeah, that's a...
Yeah, he got in here, he's not coming out.
Oh, dog.
Yeah, that's sad. I mean, it could be a dog.
It kind of looks like...
It does look with that nose. Or even a... Do they have wolves here?
There were two long parallel corridors, one inner serving the troop chambers and services, the outer corridor giving direct access to the firing embrasures. The main internal corridors is about 400 meters long, and there's a total internal passage length of about 2 kilometers, with 5 entrances, 3 on the south side. Besides all the defensive caponiers, there were also photoelectric detection systems and provisions and a large water collection holding cistern near the works. Also, the fort used light communication systems, as the Maginot Lines and World War I forts had.
Now, let's have a look. That's a proper steel door. There's an egg. I'm going to stick to my tested, tried way of always sticking to the right. I wonder how cold it would get in here in the winter. Everything is built in red brick, plastered. Nice, typical Italian. It would be. I mean, people sleep here. Well, sticking to the right rule. The fighting positions are multi-level. Oh, son of a bitch. You would think climbing up the mountain is one thing. Now you have to walk down inside it as well. Fine. This will constitute the leg day for the week. Stick with the right roll. This is very cool. You want a tunnel, so there's a tunnel. You did very good.
No. Let's just explore it right here.
Oh, you know the right roll. All right, you take the left roll, I'll take the right roll. Okay. So here's the door that leads out to what exactly? Bathroom, defended bathrooms again. There were maneuvers here where they had over 200 NATO soldiers. Oops, whack, sorry. So, here is another little fighting position, or defensive position of that door that we can only see from the outside. What does that say? What can you see what that says?
Alpine pionieren.
1950s, say 36, 56, 56. Ah, wicked. But I can't make it through that hole, and I'm insisting you don't try either. Or Mr. Paul Beatty, do you mind doing a 3D graphics of this? Just because I don't think anybody else did. Heavy steel door. We gotta find the fighting positions. And we have munitions. Here.
This is for grenades.
I would almost think either, or if it's, is it straight?
Yes.
This should, they said most of these were repurposed for anti-tank weaponry. This is too small for that. This is, and you see the doors outside are closed. That we will possibly pick up with a drone. I can't think of anything else it would be than a grenade roll. True. This would be for a machine gun. It's too small for a cannon. And then there'd be a hoist. Oh, wait a minute, there'd be a cable hoist coming through somewhere to hold. That would possibly be there. I'm not sure. There would be something inside where you could, a little wedge that I've shown you in other episodes, where you would open the doors outside, the camouflage doors. Yes, to the left roll. It is. So, construction stopped in 1942 of these. Just, well, resources, and Hitler was getting a little annoyed. The Germans knew everything that the Italians were doing here. Their absurdity construction is impossible to hide something like this. And now we are actually hanging, we're over the cliffside now, hanging in one of the little, what can we call them, gondolas? Little balconies?
Looks like Lord of the Rings.
And here, port is open, and I think again a machine gun position. That's very cool. So yeah, we're hovering over. This whole thing is protruding from the wall. There's stuff missing here. There's a lot of technical things that would be missing. I'm gonna have to do a little Italian technical bunker episode explaining what everything was, or everything that would be in these, just to catch you guys up on it. Because I can't tell you a whole lot about them going through them, especially not without any writing or anybody who served here. But I don't have the impression that the World War II design or the usage for World War II, the way that was set up and used by the Italians, was much different than that of the Cold War. Ooh. So that would be another one. Yes. I wonder how they constructed these. If they built the tunnel and just hacked it on, or there's metal underneath holding. This could also be a shell chute for the cartridges, although it's damn big. Great view. And you can see the hotel and all the trees. You can see the entire road. Again, flanking fire. I really enjoyed this place. This was one of the harder places to get to, I'll say. Artifact. This is an impolite angle. Lovely doors. Do impression they're gas tight. All right. Oh, son of a bitch. There's a staircase. Oh, dear God. This upwards motion, it's not funny anymore. So if you're on my Patreon, you'll understand why your donation will go to a bucket of cow milk after this. Oh, very cool. This is a much heavier ring. And Brazier doesn't quite as deep.
Can I do?
Yeah, of course. Keep thinking that's where the winch would be. I also keep thinking this would be over pressure or under pressure. Not here, but the doors behind the fighting positions. So I'm wondering if the Italians during the Cold War went away with all the crew members wearing individual masks and started what's it called? If they started generating overpressure in the bunker behind, or in the fighting compartment itself, which is really hard with an embracer that big. So I'm not sure if they changed, because I always thought it was very cumbersome for 3 soldiers in the fighting compartment to wear individual gas masks, as it was intended in World War II and part of the Cold War. And up to the 90s, you would think a better system might have been put in place for ABC. So I'm thinking these doors would seal. So the complex in here was under overpressure, but the fighting compartment wasn't, which would leave them to still have to wear gas masks or oxygen masks. This door is bigger. It's moving? Yeah. Awesome. Okay, here's the anti-tank cannon we were looking for. Holy crappy. I know why the door is bigger. Yeah. So, artillery. I know they had anti-tank cannons. This is big enough for 150 howitzer. Much bigger embrasure. Wow. Of course. So.
Is it really not really close?
The armament initially was planned to be the 10cm Skoda or Model 117 Model 16 gun, and anti-tank guns were to be the 4732 Model 1935, built by the Austrian Breda. The 117 was selected as appropriate for the cave's use, and they were available. These were original World War II era fittings that we're seeing here today. Nothing changed since then. There was also planned several mortar positions, and obviously a ton of machine gun and automatic rifle positions, like that of the Fiat Model 1435. The garrison here was suggested to be 7 officers, 10 NCOs, and about 150 men. It was constructed by the Italian Military Engineer Unit and specialized fortification teams under the Presidio Monte Guardiera Frontiera, GIF. Construction used military organized labor and specializing tunneling crews.
Wow, that's a serious door to close it a little bit. Okay, can you close it more? So, this is a serious door. That still moves, which is pretty impressive, considering they don't look anything but. Get back to that. I see another big door. Outstanding. Oh yeah. I wonder if they ever test fired these. I mean, they must have done. That's really something. Definitely 105, probably bigger. I'm gonna go, they almost have to be bigger, why not? There's plenty of room for 155 short. There's a glass peephole in here. Don't expect to know what direction you're looking for. What? So, okay, things were installed here. Still surprised they took everything with them. Another one? Oh, let's have a look. Does this feel? It feels smaller, doesn't it? A little bit, maybe. I love that they put arrows pointing backwards, as if there would be a choice. No, same size, big one. This was massive. Okay, there's something new there. Observation or a machine gun, or both. Both. I didn't see the embrasure. Oh my God, and there's more. Wow. See that? Oh, we can just see the embrasure there. And there's a dome. I'm going to try to fly the drone over this. Counting that, it'll fly up here. Of course, it'll be quicker. So there should be one more. These, I think, would be ammunition stores, especially for something as big as the howitzers. This, I keep saying howitzer, because it almost must be bigger than I'm just gonna take a peek because I just want to show, make sure I want to see everything. Didn't come this far. Probably identical. It is. Except. So besides that, here's another one of these. With, see in there, see the gun position just, and see the other gun positions there. That's really amazing. What a place into a rock face. And there's a piece of wood up there to hold the lid, maybe? There's camouflage here, probably. Although, I mean, camouflage is great, but how can you camouflage this? That is very optimistic. How much more can here be? Interesting. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh let me. You know that inside my head I am swearing in every language I possibly can think of, because I know I'm going to have to come up this freaking staircase again. Dear God, I don't even know how far this goes. I am really, really, really annoyed. If you want to wait there and I'll call you and see if it's worth it. Jesus. First the mountain, and then this staircase fitness from hell. My legs are absolutely fried after this climb. And I don't even think that's the base here. This staircase goes down further. Oh, Jesus. Oh, dear Lord, Mother of God. Oh, God, help me. There's another one that's just as long. Oh my God. This better be good. Now somebody said, I keep remembering, that the Italians were lazy in their fortress design. I'm going to find that person. I'm going to drag him here and have him walk all the way up and down these stairs until he recants that statement. Oh my God, this is not even it. I think this goes all the way to the bottom of the floor. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. And there's another one after that. This is absolutely insane. You don't want to do this. I'm almost wondering if we're going to come all the way to the floor. I can't even see the bottom yet. This is insane. These stairs are gonna kill me coming up. If nothing else, half a will. Oh my god. Oh my god. But where is this though? Okay, there's another staircase. I'm just gonna sit down in the corner and cry. So, okay. So here's the firing position. Out to the side. This complex is enormous. My God, this is huge. What is this? Another machine gun position. So, this is not even to the road, this is to the side of the mountain. This is almost pointing in the direction of a possible advance. This is surreal. There's 3 machine gun positions down here. There's 3 machine gun positions. And rooms. Rooms. Let's see if I lied. I believe this is the 3rd. Water basin again. Muddy. Why is it muddy here? I wonder. Bathroom. Fighting position bathroom again. Which means there's probably a door here. Is there anybody here that has been sealed up? You can't see this. That's why I can see rock outside the firing force. So, yeah, they completely sealed this up because this is much closer to the road. Yeah, why would we want to make it easy for people? Wow, exit really? Where are you, Munchkin? You made it. There's another exit down here that, of course, they sealed up because this is probably way, I don't know how deep we are. But that's, oh my God. All right, I'm gonna turn the camera off because I really don't want you guys to hear me cry. There's no amount of cardio that will ever prepare you for bunker cardio or Alpine Fortress cardio. Jesus, this is not real. This is okay. Something was installed here. Where's the ending of this? I'll get to that later. I can't even see the wall at the end. Or can I? Maybe. This is one of those parts of fortresses where I'm kind of wishing there was an end. It's like, oh yes, we've seen it all. Yay, let's go home. Although remember, going home is an hour and 20 climb down the mountain. So well, you know. Okay. Door frame. Heavy door. Okay, I will say there's a part of me that has some joy in the fact that this is broken, and is also somewhat wondering how optimistic is it to have built a wooden staircase up to either an entrance or an observation dome. I really can't tell from here. It's very nice craftsmanship, but I probably should put a steel one in. Okay. This could have been an exit up there or ops post. I can't tell. Huh? Artillery position. Okay. Yeah. So, we are no longer pointing to the road. Now we are actually looking down over towards Austria that way. So this whole damn thing surrounds the entire fortress on all sides, or from one side to the other. Damn. Amazing that they could build this. Amazing that anybody could build this. There's, from what I can see, only one road, the old military road, leading here. I don't see any other roads or ways to get here than that. So you had all of this was built with one road access.
To go right.
Always follow the right. Another artillery position. So where's that point? See if I can get a GPS signal, just to see if I can draw a pin and see how deep this is. Okay. Unexpected. If there's a stairs, I'm just going to delete the video and claim no knowledge. Because there. Well, there was a pair of stairs. So there's a lower level or an out besides the one we were in. That's interesting. So, we can say we're looking at multi-levels of this thing. So you have a stairwell up and a stairwell down. Might be a safe place for a bird's nest, I suppose. Another artillery position. Now, gorgeous. Lots of guns. I really see where the 250 men that should man this place was gonna go. This is amazing. Damn, what a walk. I'm never gonna stop complaining about the walking up here. It's just, I'm gonna be in pain tomorrow, boy.
During the Second World War, most of the Valle Alpino was not used for combat, did not see battle. However, some were taken over by the German army and artillery units and fought in 1945. And also others were used in defense by Italian forces against the French forces in 1945. But that is a very different story that I will tell you later. However, none of that happened here.
All right. Well, all the things we ignored on the left are now on the right. I'm curious about the spiral staircase up and the spiral staircase down. Okay. So what are we missing? We're missing kitchen, we're missing bedrooms, we're missing a machine room, and a room for ventilation. And probably a command and control. And here's the next turn. So, double doors, ventilation, bigger doors, and a large freaking room. So it is interesting with the tile. It's red brick tile for some reason. Why is the red brick? I mean, I think the red brick would be before they put the floors in. So, command, I would be guessing what will be in here. Yes, wheel for right. Unless you want to go down the stairs again. That's what I thought. And the next. See on the floors look a little more finished. I do think the red brick is just because the floors were not finished. I don't know. Oh, here's a long hallway. So this could have been designed for offices. You could imagine that on this red brick they would put, a wooden floor. Don't know why anybody felt the need to break this, but these are just empty rooms, and then large. And again, I wonder if this was not ventilation. Have like ventilation on a stand. And again with the red brick floor, I guess it was finished. I just keep wanting to think something would eventually go over here. This is large enough to be the barracks. But if it was the barracks, wouldn't there be bathrooms closer to it? Again, even if it was offices, wouldn't there be bathrooms closer to it? So that's another hallway down to the hallway. Yeah, this is the hallway. So all this is running parallel to the main hallway. A lot of these little rooms Could be officers' quarters, officers' rooms. If there's anything. Again, this I recognize from other bunkers. I think that's ventilation, but I could be wrong. I'm just gonna have to go check what I have seen, because I know I have seen before. A lot of these little rooms here, all little empty rooms. What's this? Oh, stairs. Why is there stairs? Well, there should be one short stairs to the, if we are all the way back at the end, to that little post over the entrance. Son of a bitch. We all know how this is going to go. These seems a little smaller than the other steps. I love how there's an arrow in the only direction you can possibly go. Okay. Bathrooms. Exit. Yeah. We're over the entrance here. Huh? Yeah. We're over the entrance. It's bricked up too. So, we at the end. I mean, functioning. Deathbed. No, this is officially going downhill from here. I do wish there would be more artifacts in here or indication of what it was, but just to see the construction of this place in the middle of a mountainside with one access road. There's some engineers out there watching this. You tell me what kind of logistics that will take. And they did this in, well, they started building in 38, so by 42 they stopped. So, well, no more than 4 years, maybe 3. No wonder the Germans used Italians to build some of their tunnel factories during the war. This is a clear indication the Italians definitely knew what they were doing. Yeah. And I will hear no one say anything else about that. I am officially impressed with what the Italians have done. Now, if somebody has constructed a lift up here or a helivac, that would be just awesome. 1949.
After the war, some of these works were destroyed, and several others were reused by NATO for defending against potential Soviet attacks. There are conflicting stories about the Cold War usage of Opera 10, but when I found an old Italian activation map, it seems that Opera 2, the first bunker we visited, and several others were reused, but Opera 10 was not, which I find rather strange, given what an asset it is.
Yeah, I saw there was that cement square there. This is officially one of the most impressive places I've ever been, despite all the things that are not there, like, cannons. This really is impressive. I'm happy I came here.
Now, there are several videos that have been made from people visiting this place. I hope I could have given you a little bit more insight in the construction and armament and usage of this amazing place. And I will say, from some of the much suffering, lamenting videos people have made walking up this mountain, I will be a little brash and say it was not that bad. And I may actually come back. Hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel, liking, follows, and maybe even join me on Patreon to help out. I am just a guy, a historian, traveling around all these historic places in Europe on my own dime, trying to bring them to you.